In this project, what I'd like to do is to show you how to take a 10-inch circle, take some different approaches to using your name. You can mix the letters up like I did here, or you can use your name straightforward and create a design and just kind of pull the picture together to create unity in it. I'll show you how to do that now. To start out with, let's do some rough drafts. What I'm going to do is put down 4 circles, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, just to get some ideas. So I put these out like this, and don't worry that these circles overlap each other, because this is just a practice sheet to see what you can come up with to kind of work out your ideas. So you start here, go all the way around, and then do the same thing on the back side. And I'm going to draw them in black markers so you can see these circles. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got 2 circles on the front, 2 circles on the back, and I'm going to start using this as a rough draft, just kind of brainstorming some different ideas. And you're going to use your name. You can use your first name, your last name. You can mix them up so that it's a puzzle. You can use them to create a design. You can put them in together with a scene or put logos around here and hide them in there. What I'm going to do is experiment with things until I find one that I like. And so these are your rough drafts, and you're just going to draw out some ideas. So let me try some ideas right now. So now you can see what I'm doing. I worked up my first idea, and it says fort shut. But if you look at it, it's R-O-T-H-F-U-S. And I took my letters and I created a different combination, so people have to figure out whose name is that. And what I did is I put a fort in the back with a gate that's shut and just kind of throw people off, so it kind of creates a different image. I like this one, but let me just use one that's just straightforward and just puts my name right here. And I'm going to begin with that one. So here I kind of drew my name out, just straightforward, R-O-T-H-F-U-S. And I think it's kind of fun too, because the cross, or the T, makes kind of a cross, and it's fun to have that as part of my name, because Jesus is a part of my life. It's kind of fun to incorporate that, and how I kind of incorporate all the letters here like this. And they're kind of squished together, but it's anybody can pretty much figure out that that's Rothfuss. So it's just kind of this fun thing going on here. But this, for the sake of this illustration, I'm going to use this one here and have fort shut as the design that I use. Now to begin your final draft, what you're going to do is you're going to take the circle template, kind of get it centered in the middle of the paper, trace the circle out, then pick your favorite design that you did in your rough drafts, and you can redraw it. You put on the light table, and you can trace it over however you want to do it. But I'm going to pick this one right here, the fort shut, and trace this over. And I'm going to try to do it through the paper, getting it kind of centered and tracing it out. Now to color it in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use markers and colored pencils and use them in a combination to make this an eye-catching unified design. And so that what happens is you'll see shut and fort here, which is Rothfuss in mixed up letters. I'm going to have a color combination coming across here and a color combination coming down here. And when I get to here, I'm going to mix them together, and you'll be able to see what kind of fun stuff you can do with your design. Now that I've got the fort shut all colored in, you can see how the orange and the yellow come down to meet the green and the blue here, and I kind of did this kind of fun mixing of the colors on this T. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the background with these markers, and I think you're going to find that the markers are really kind of fun because you can put them down and then you can use a little bit of water almost as a watercolor. So I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to do red and orange for the sky, and then I'm going to do purple and blue for the castle, and I'm going to use water at the end to blend them. But make sure that, like, when I do the sky, I've got to wait till that dries before I do the castle, otherwise they're going to mix together. So you got to let one area dry before you work on the other area. Now I've colored it in red and orange in the background. Now watch what happens when I put the water on it, and I'm just going to work this area. Then I have to let it dry before I work this area. Before I start the castle, what I'm going to do is do the door. I'm going to do it with a wood grain using brown. There, now the door is done, and what I'm going to do now is do the castle. First I'm going to use black, then I'm going to use blue, then I'm going to use purple, and then go over it with water at the end to get this design finished. So here's the final name design inside the 10-inch circle. And what I did is I started out by brainstorming some different ideas, how I could take my name and change it into different words, and then put that together, and then even have an illustration. And see how it's kind of tied together, that there's a feeling of unity in it. It's got this word coming around here, and everything leads to this door, and it's the shut fort, which is actually Rothfuss, R-O-T-H-F-U-S. And I just kind of had fun putting it together. But this gives you some different techniques and ideas of how to fit your name into a 10-inch circle.